I wanted to go over something that I see quite often in golf swings. People who try to control the golf club head or try to control the face of the club. And they don't sometimes realize that that's what they're doing, but they are. They're trying to control it rather than giving up control and allowing science and centrifugal force to swing the club squarely through the golf ball. They're trying to manipulate it or hold it or control it with their hands. You'll see this a lot of times with people who have the face shut at the top of the swing. So I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like to keep the face shut at the top, and it's going to look something like this. Some people arch it and shut it intentionally with their wrists. Some people just have too tight of a right hand and they get up to a shut position. A square position would look more like this, where the face line is in line with the left forearm here, so you can see that those line up there. Okay, so that would be kind of a square position. And a square position, just so you know, is where the club swings actually open and close during the swing, but we consider square to be the face in an open position at the top. Okay, this would be too open and this would be too shut or too closed. So like I said, recently I had a student who was swinging the club back too shut, too closed, always held on to it at the top and kind of controlled the club face in this position. Therefore, he had to kind of hold on to it and not let it release as he came through. And like I said, I've seen this with several students, but I came up with this description for him, and maybe it'll help you. When we hold a golf club head at address, the weight of the mass, or the mass of the club head, is on one side of the shaft. This weight is not centered. You can see it's not centered directly underneath the tip of the shaft. It's off center here, so it's on the top side, we'll call this. This is the shaft, so we'll call this the top side and we'll call this the bottom side. So as I'm holding the club head here and addressing the golf ball, I'm holding the weight on top of the shaft. I'm not holding the weight on the bottom of the shaft. All right, we could swing like this, but wouldn't hit very good golf shots. So right here we're gonna hold it like the club is designed, and because the weight is up on top, it wants to swing open and closed. As you go back and forth, the weight wants to rotate a little bit around that shaft. All right, and a lot of people try to control that, and what I'm trying to describe to you is to let go of your control of this club head and allow it to swing. So what I told him was that when he swung back, he's keeping this position where the mass of the club head on top of the shaft, and he's keeping it there. As he goes back to the top of the swing, he's keeping the mass up on top of the shaft here. He's not allowing it to fall down like gravity here would allow this to fall down like that. So when I start with it in this position and I swing it to the top of my swing, you can see that gravity should pull down on this mass of weight here, and it'll pull it underneath the shaft. So now it feels like it's below the shaft. When you get to the top of the swing, you should have this feeling like the mass is falling below the shaft. You're no longer holding it up in that position. You're letting it fall down. So here you feel like you're holding it up. That's a natural position. But when you get to the top of the swing, instead of holding it and keeping it on top of the shaft, you should let it fall down. All right, and this helped this guy a lot. He started just swinging back, and he would relax his wrists and his hands so that the mass of the weight could fall down and naturally swing the club face open into a square position at the top. And like I said, once he felt that, he was also able to feel it flip over, or feel the mass fly over the shaft on the through swing, squaring the club face and closing it on the follow through. So it's squared impact and then closes over here. All right, so obviously you have to let go of your control to feel this. And when you let go of your control, you'll feel like a lighter grip pressure. And that lighter grip pressure is going to allow you to swing it open and hinge it more. You might get a little bit more hinge at the top, which will be good for your club head speed. And the lighter grip pressure will give you a faster, more quick release at the bottom, which will be a centrifugal release. And you'll create more club head speed and longer, straighter shots. So try this next time you go out. Give up your control of the club head. Don't control it at the top and hold on to it and keep it in a closed position. Allow it to swing with the weight going under the shaft, and then let it release itself at the bottom, and you'll find that the ball goes better, straighter and farther.